VIGILANT Broadcasting, the station of opportunity, presents The Chronicles of Doing Too Much with your host, Angel Riley.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Chronicles of Doing Too Much. I am your host, the one and only Angel L. Riley, and I'm so excited and a tad bit sad to be with you tonight. So, guys, this is our last show for this season. We're going to go on a bit of a sabbatical for the summer months and looking forward to coming back in the fall months, but I do want you to stay connected to me on social media, on Facebook, Angel L. Riley, and you guys will be able to get a lot of valuable resources that will be coming out over the next couple of months, as well as hearing information about our upcoming podcast for the Chronicles that will be in addition to what we'll have for this show, as well as, opportunity to meet up with me. If you're in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, we're going to have a couple of Chronicles meet and greets throughout the summer months here in the area. So I'm really looking forward to that and interacting with everyone. But you must follow me on Facebook, Angel L. Riley, or even Instagram, Angel L. Riley, so you can stay in contact with me as we transition off for a temporary period of time off the radio station. But this is the final step, the final chapter with making the power move. As I announced a couple of weeks ago, I was just pretty much shocked about some changes at the 9 to 5, and I chose to mutually separate from the 9 to 5 to pursue other things that I want to do and, eventually get back into corporate America if that's what God's plan is, or continue to build and expand the Angel L. Riley brand and the Chronicles of Doing Too Much series. So I'm really looking forward to that. You guys are going to see a lot of information coming out. So we talked about, having to take that strategic pause and really taking in what happened and dealing with the emotion, the highs and the lows and the plateaus as you're looking at saying, okay, I'm really about to make this huge power move, and I may not be 100% ready. I may not have done it where I planned out everything like we talked about previously, financially or mentally, like you're just thrown into the power move. And that's exactly where I am. I've thrown into it. This was definitely not on the agenda whatsoever at this time. And I did have a 2-year plan. And I was going by that 2-year plan. But that 2-year plan got accelerated into 7 months, okay? So it's just really funny and just taking it in stride, taking it, where the emotions of feeling upset, feeling betrayed, feeling, like a failure, to be honest. All of that is just gone, and now it's just happiness, joy, and looking at what does the future hold. So we talked about that. We talked about dealing with all of the emotions. Then we started to talk about making an action plan, and I shared on Monday night how I had this goals journal and how I wrote out the goals, and I'm doing one goal at a time. And I have to tell you guys, I'm going to adjust the goal that I'm working on because it's kind of hefty, and it really, when I really sit down and think about it, and the goal that I'm working on is just making sure that I'm employable, keeping myself marketable. It's really not where my focus is for right now. I'm doing what I have to do, optimizing my social media. I did all of the scrubbing. I've updated my resume. I'm using the services of a career coach. I've optimized my LinkedIn profile. You guys are more than welcome to send me a LinkedIn friend request. Angel L. Riley is the name, so definitely stay connected with me. There you're going to see a lot of articles and various pieces of content coming out on LinkedIn as we're growing there in that area. Actually, my first article on LinkedIn will be published next week, so I'm looking forward to that and sharing this journey, because that will be part of the Chronicles series, sharing this journey there in the professional spectrum. But, like all of that stuff, putting it together. But at the end of the day, where my heart is, where my passion is, and I definitely can take it to a 9 to 5. I'm not taking that off under any circumstances. But the passion is under the ALR brand. The passion is under the Chronicles. So writing out that action plan, making myself marketable, that I can be hireable, I'm employable rather. That's all done. It's all done. I'm going to make a couple of updates. I'm getting into what I'm calling a rhythm for applying for future positions, getting into that rhythm. And that's how we're going to end this with making this power move, is defining a rhythm, setting a schedule. Now, it just seems insane. Rather, you are, coming out for a power move just on your own because you decided this was the time to make that move, or you're in a situation like I found myself in where my power move was quickly accelerated, but really factoring out a schedule. Because one of the things that you don't want to do is, one, burn yourself out. If you're going to be pulled in so many different directions, you're excited, you have a lot of ideas, you have a long list of things that you want to get done, and before you know it, that you've gone all over the place. Then you're also going to find yourself that maybe you'll be lacking interacting with other people because you're grinding so hard. You're working so hard to build your business, to build your brand, to make your dreams come true, to be successful. You're doing so much to go into that that you're not really interacting with people, and you'll have one of those days where you're like, oh, wait a minute, and then you're so into it that you're not having that opportunity to take that pause to walk away, to come back. So you really sparked your creativity. You looked at everything that you're doing, that you hit a writer's block if you're writing a lot. If you're developing content or whatever your role may be, you hit a point where you just lack the creativity, the motivation. It just ceases because you're only into it and you're working it 24/7. So we want to create a schedule. Create a schedule, and when you create this schedule, you want to make sure that you factor in some time where you can relax. You can take that time to really look at what is it that I need. What is that self-care time? What is it where I can take that brief break away from my goals, keep myself healthy, keep myself energized, keep myself engaged. So let's talk about what this schedule should look like. And I'm going to be, again, this is transparent moments because I'm sharing in real life what my power move, how I'm going about this, what is there. And I would love for you guys to comment and let me know exactly what is it that you suggest, or give me some recommendations. I'm going to tell you some of the things that I'm doing, so give me some recommendations. So the first thing is you have your action plan. And one of the goals that you should have in your action plan is, what is my daily routine? So several of us have a 9 to 5. We have a routine where we have to get up at a certain hour in the morning. We have to get ready. If we commute, we have to factor in the time for that commute. And then we have those working hours. All right? And then whatever you would do with your working hours, stop, take a lunch break, you're interacting with folks. So you essentially want to set that same schedule for when you're in your power move, when you're launching into that next step, that next platform. So the first thing that I recommend is establishing your schedule. Your wake-up schedule, rather. Set your alarm. You may not, if you get up at 4 a.m., so like with me, I get up between 4 and 4. Well, let me rephrase that. I set the alarm for 4 to 4:30 a.m. I don't always get up like I used to, but I set the alarm for 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. because I like to factor in time to pray in the morning. So you want to do that same thing. You can adjust your times just a little, but if you're going to, really stay productive and really stay in your routine, try not to. So, I will continue to have my alarm going off between 4 and 4:30 a.m. I'm pushing myself. That's a goal, to actually get up within 15 minutes of the alarm going off, to actually have my prayer and meditation time. That's an important part of my day. My day goes completely different when I have that silent time to just talk to God. So getting up, praying, factoring in that time, I like that this church that I'm going to here in the Washington, D.C. area, I liked how the apostle, that's the pastor of the church, the doctor, he was saying that he and the first lady were at one point, their schedules were so busy that they weren't praying together. So they had like a board in their prayer room where they would write down different things that they wanted each other to pray for. So I kind of took that, and I said, you know what? I always tell people, I'm going to pray for you. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes I forget. I'll tell someone I'm going to pray for them, and I forget to pray for them because I forgot I said I was going to pray for them. So I wanted to start that. So I went to the dollar store. And you can go to any inexpensive store, and I got this huge poster board, and then I just got a bunch of Post-it notes. I'm the Post-it note queen, as I like to say. So that way I'm keeping them with me. So if I promise to pray for someone, or if something's going on that I know I need to do a prayer for, I'm writing it on the Post-it note, and then I'm just sticking it to my board. And I'll have it up in my bedroom is my prayer room. I really try to keep my bedroom calm and clutter-free when possible, because that is just my sacred space. And I'll probably eventually do a prayer closet, but my bedroom is my space. We talk so much about that sacred space. It is so important to have that sacred space. But, I'll put it up. I'll probably put it on my closet door so I can see it, and I'll know when I'm up praying if I need that reminder. If I told someone I was going to pray for them, I have it written down. I have that reminder, so I actually do pray for them. So I'm not telling someone I'm praying for them, and I'm not because I forgot, So doing that, also different things that I have going on, praying for that. I have to make the decision. Sometimes I am non-committal in my prayers, and I'm non-committal in my prayers because sometimes I'm not really sure what I want. And I know we want to pray specific. We want to pray bold, but sometimes I'm just like, God, would let your will be done. I'm ready to be a servant. I am ready to just serve you. And when people see me, I pray that they see you. So that is just one of those things that sometimes I fall there. And sometimes I fall short because sometimes people may not see the God in me. But that is something that I'm building on and strengthening on. I can't always be perfect. We don't strive for perfection. I strive to please God, but I don't strive to be perfect because that's not possible. But, little things. So sometimes I don't have anything specific. I don't have anything bold. I would love to get feedback from all of you about how do you go through that. That's an opportunity for me to open up the Bible and read the Bible. But I don't always have that, God bless me with XYZ right now. Or God, sometimes I just don't have that. Sometimes my prayers are just, God, let your will be done. And it's like that simple, and I don't know if I'm just a bore or I'm just so thankful for the abundance of blessings that God has given me that I don't really know what else to pray for because I'm happy. So everything else is going to be overflow because it's what he says I'm doing that I need and what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I'm truly walking in my purpose. So the plan that he has for me, the plan to prosper me, I'm actually going forward in that. So I'm sorry I got off on a little bit of a tangent, but prayer is just so important, and especially when you're doing this power move, because when you're dealing with those emotions, this peace, this calmness that I have over me, I put it 100% towards my faith, my spirit, my belief in God, in that prayer time that I've been kind of short in prayers, like, God, thank you for this comfort. Like, that's what it's been. It's really been that short because life is grand for me, and that peace that I'm getting is just absolutely perfect for what I am trying to achieve, and it's the next step in my life. So God knows what's there for me. I'm ready to follow, and I'm going to be obedient. So my schedule will always consist of that prayer time. That's what my schedule will consist of. So the second thing that you want to look at when you're looking at your schedule is getting up in the morning and actually getting dressed. It's so easy to say, all right, I don't have to go into an office, or I don't have an appointment until 2 p.m. No, get up. Get dressed. If your normal schedule right now, normally by 6:30 at the latest, I am up and I'm in the shower and I'm getting ready for the day. So that same thing is going to happen. I have that prayer time. I have that meditation. I talked a lot about what my prayer time looks like. Now it's time to actually get dressed, do my hair, put the makeup on, get it all together. All right, because now you're taking yourself seriously. Now you're looking at this in the same way that you're showing up and showing out for other, when you were working a 9 to 5 or you were doing whatever activity it was that you were doing. Now you are doing the exact same thing. So you don't have a commute. Great. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to go to the local coffee shop and maybe have certain things that you do, like checking your emails or doing whatever during that time of the commute. You're dressed, you look good, go out. That gives you an opportunity to interact with people. You at a local coffee shop, all you need is a cup of coffee. If you're on a budget, you want to do some stuff at home. I love outdoor space, and one of the important things that I needed to do over this past weekend is get my deck together. I love to sit outside and just enjoy just some outside time. So there might be some mornings that I may not go to the local coffee shop, but my deck becomes my local coffee shop where I go out, I take that time to go through the emails, to read the papers, to get caught up. That time that I will be commuting is what I'm calling the power up time. That power up time is filling your mind, getting you engaged. I'm doing a lot of subsequent trainings to help me with some of the plans that I have for my businesses as I'm moving forward. That is something that's going to happen after I'm dressed, and that time that I will be commuting, that's where I'll be taking that online class if I'm taking an online class. That's where, if I'm in an in-person class, that's the time that I'll be getting prepared for that classroom. That is that time. If I'm training, if I'm a facilitator of my own training, that's the time that I'm doing my research and I'm gathering. I'm really building. I'm powering up. Doing it first thing in the morning, enjoying that cup of coffee. It's the time that I would normally be commuting, listening to an audio book or jamming to the radio. Sometimes, if I'm home or even out in public, I'll make sure I won't hurt anyone's ears with my singing. But that's that time, that power-up time. And then once you take that power-up time, and you can adjust that hour. My commute is like an hour to an hour and a half some mornings. I may not need a whole hour to hour and a half to do my power up. I might need more than an hour and a half. But as long as my day consists of that power up time and I have that minimum, then you start to chart out the rest of the things that you are doing for that day. So if it's a day that I'm going to, put out a application to a 9 to 5, that may come up. If it's a day where I'm marketing, my boutique, that's something that I'll get out there and that I'll do. If it's a day that I am I'm very popular tonight and here in our live studio, and everyone just decided that the Chronicles haven't ended for the season, and they're all just calling. So I do apologize for all of the pauses, but the one and only Angel O'Reilly is popular right now. Okay, so I apologize for that. But with all of it, whatever I'm doing, if like I said, doing an application, if it is a thing of, me doing something for the boutique, doing marketing, advertising, that's that time. That whatever I would do, checking email, one of the first things the first thing I do when I get to the office at the 9 to 5 is I have my cup of coffee, my breakfast if I haven't already had it, in the car driving, and I sit there and I go through all my emails, and all the important ones I respond to first. But having that time, where you are concentrating on whatever business task that is that you're doing for that day. If it's easier for you to break up those tasks in between, you can do it. But just like you have a 9 to 5, you're developing a rhythm. And this is the most important thing. You want to take a break for lunch. You want to take a break, and that lunch could be your workout time. Some people like to work out in the morning. You can adjust your schedule however you want, but you want to take that lunch break. If you want to go to the gym and work out, if you want to do something in your home to work out, or you just want to take a quick walk around the block, but factor in that lunch period and factor in doing something. And my recommendation is to do some type of physical activity. And this is the thing. You're going to be so into your business. You're going to be so up to it. You're going to probably be making a lot of phone calls in the morning. Whatever you're doing as you're getting adjusted, you want to take a pause, and you want to make sure that you're looking at your health. All right, so do that quick power, that power walk, or, before you eat. Watch what you're eating. I like to eat the bad stuff, but maybe this is a time that I need to look at my assortment of salads with us getting into the summer months, adding different fruits and nuts and fresh cheeses to my salad, but really taking that time. And even if you only want to dedicate 30 minutes, at least make 10 minutes of that brief lunch break, at least make 10 minutes of that with some type of activity. Also, with the lunch break, to help you stay on target, because it's so easy for us to be so involved in what we're doing that we'll eat and work, just like we do it at 9 to 5. This is a perfect opportunity to make some critical appointments, to network. Reach out to those that you hadn't seen in a while. See if they're available for lunch. This is a great opportunity to go out and do that network. Another thing is you want to get your brand. You want to, build relationships with new people. See if there's a local soup kitchen or somewhere that you can go to volunteer. You don't have to do it every single day, but add something in where you're really taking that midday pause. And then for the afternoon, you just do your regular follow-up that you would do in the afternoon, complete all of the tasks, and then make sure, no matter what, at least 3 days a week, get in at least 30 minutes of exercise. You have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your body. When you're feeling good, when you're looking good, that's going to give you that much more energy. That's going to give you that much more focus. That's going to help with your creativity. It's giving you the opportunity to break away. So look at that schedule. Diversify it. And it also helps with the mental. You have a set schedule, because there's some days if your power move is, something, and maybe you're waiting for, you've written up all these proposals and you're waiting for responses to come back to see if your bid was selected. That works for you. And you don't have to work a full day every day, but you definitely want to put in whatever you need to put in for that day, however many hours you need to put in for that day. But try not to sit idle just watching the television. Try not to sit around where you're so involved and so engulfed in what you're doing that you're starting to you're lighting more candles, because you're trying to make that space sacred again. Your space wouldn't have anything to do with it. It would be all with your activity, and I'm not a mental health professional under no circumstances, but I am a member of the School of the Hard Knock Life, and I know what that can do mentally, talking to people, getting out of your own comfort zone sometimes. I am, and this is going to be hard to believe, but I'm going to say it because it is the truth. I really am an introvert. I really am an introvert. Sometimes I get super shy around people. But one of the things that I've learned, and it's just with the sheer nature of my career, is how to just take that deep breath and just go for it. Just smile, talk, find something, some way to engage with other people. But it is so easy for me. Like if I am not in an environment where I can push myself past that comfort limit of, okay, I don't really have to talk to anybody. I don't really feel like it right now. I won't. Like I had to really challenge myself. And no one believes me. No one believes that I'm an introvert. And I really am. And most times when I'm out and I'm interacting with people, 100% of the time, I am worn out. I am exhausted at the end. I have to. That's why my space is so sacred, that this is really getting you guys in tune with me. I have to get away. I have to break down and just fill back up. I call it my refill period. So that's where my candle comes into play. That's where my glass of wine comes into play. I like to listen to various genres of music. That's when that comes to play. And that's also when I'm the most creative. Like my mind will race 100 miles a minute because when I'm in that quiet time, that coming down time, the creative juices just flow. The creativity becomes unreal. And that's the time that I just love. I love the silence. I barely watch the television. I used to have favorite television shows, but it's been so long since I really watched the television that I don't even know what's going on with half of them anymore. But thank goodness for the DVR and being able to watch all the seasons, all episodes of the seasons at one time. But, it's just one of those things where it's part of that schedule, really knowing who you are. We talked earlier about owning your truth. When you own your truth, that's helping you to define who you are and what you need. But while you're making this power move, it is so important to abide by a schedule. So I really pray and hope and everything that I just gave you guys tonight is going to help you with the power move. I definitely want you guys to continue to follow me. Like I said, over the next couple of months, you're going to see some amazing things, as I must say, coming out when I've been in my sacred space in my quiet time. The creative juices have been unlimited. When I've been doing my training time, just so much that I've learned that I'm ready to practice and to put into use and just really look at so many different things. I'm so excited for this next season. And it's funny. I had a conversation with a colleague, and she's like, wow, you just seem so happy. Did you just hate us that much? And I said, no, I don't hate anyone. I am just happy because, one, there's peace over me as I'm making this power move, so that lets me know that this is the right thing and that I truly heard the voice of God and I'm following him. But I'm also aware, I'm also self-aware to know every day is not going to be as great and as peachy as it's been, and that there's going to be a process that I'm going to go through and that I need to follow. But what makes this such an exciting time, and everyone who makes a power move, you will relate to this. And if you don't really relate to this, you're not ready for that power move. But the excitement comes from all of these things that you have, that you want to do. You're going to get out there, you're going to do it. Just educate yourself and prep yourself to know that everything is not going to happen instantly. You might have a fabulous article. You'll have I'm going to do my first LinkedIn article next week, talking about the power move. It's actually going to be talking about making a schedule, But I'm doing that first article on LinkedIn. I've never written my own original content on LinkedIn, ever. So I'm excited about this opportunity. But there might be people who disagree with me. I'm prepared for that. And no one may read the article. I'm prepared for that. But I'm also prepared to talk about and market and look at on the various platforms how I'm going to showcase this is the first of many articles that will be coming out on this social media platform over the next, over the forever, course of forever. So be prepared. Be excited, embrace the excitement, and just be the best you and live the best life you can. Thank you, guys. This has been a phenomenal past few months as we've been doing this show on Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm going to miss you during the summer sabbatical, but I can't wait to come back in the fall and share with you all the wonderful things that has happened over the next 3 or 4 months or so before I come back. And it's just going to be amazing. But just continue to follow me on social media. We are going to just have a blast and have a lot of fun. So, again, Angel Riley, thank you so much for being such loyal listeners, and I can't wait to talk to you in the fall. Good night.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember, you define your own success. Believe you can do it, build a solid foundation, know your circle, and soar. Until next time.